Hello, everybody. My name's Troy.
And I'm Darren.
And you're listening to the Brothers Greif, podcast for those underdogs who always roll one in Mario Party.
They'll always be close to my heart because I'm one of them.
Well, no.
You beg to differ, I see.
Yeah. Man, we're already butting heads.
Holy shit, we're 5 seconds in. No. You have the stage, good sir. Do tell.
I distinctly remember playing Mario Party and getting shafted constantly. It was like, what do I need to roll? A 2 to win? What do I roll? A 1. And if it was like, all I need to do is roll 1 or higher, I would somehow find a way to roll a 0. Or like you would use an item that was just like, all right, well that's negative 15 to your next roll, huh?
It's the times where you roll a 1 that sticks out the most in your mind. And all those 10s, 8s, and 9s kind of go by the wayside just because you're like, yeah, that's what I meant to roll, bitch. But it's the ones that burn and they kind of brand your brain a little bit. But yeah, you definitely rolled more ones than your fair share. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I was about to say, my childhood trauma does not lie.
You had such shitty luck in those early years, but and Mario just fucking twisted the knife.
It was stuff like that, like having to draw straws or like pick a number between 1 and 10 when we were kids, and then also Mario Party. The odds were ever not in my favor.
So what other games are you failing at?
Oh, well, do I have to pick one?
Unfortunately for this segment, yes.
Okay. I've been playing Bully.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, going back to Bully. I really like that game. The whole like living at school. It's like, I don't know. The game kind of forces you to actually be a bully at some times, but I always like to play like I was just a nerd hero. And anytime like you'd see one of like the bullies or anybody picking on the nerds, I would step in and just throw hands.
Oh, yeah, dude, you and I played very similarly because I always tried to be the big brother in that game. You know, who's got issues. He's got a dark side, but he has some redeeming qualities. Like he'll shove you, he'll lock you in your locker, but around the corner he's like, you know, giving the lunch money back to the kid that got it shaken out of him or something. It's like, oh, he's a fucking piece of shit. But on the other hand, he's good too. He's complex.
Yeah, he just pulled my lunch money out of that bully's teeth that he punched through. Yeah, dude.
What's the name of the guy, the big guy with the unzipped pants? He has a really...
Oh, Algernon.
Algernon. I always related to him because he would be me. If I were, like, portrayed in a Rockstar game, I would be the Algernon character with the unzipped
no
pants.
Way, come
on.
Oh,
for sure, though.
Not once have I ever heard you say, well, my rash isn't that bad. My mom said so.
Well, in due time, my brother, in due time.
I mean, we're both nerdy folks. I mean, we have a video game podcast, for Christ's sake. However, I've never seen you just walk around with your fly, like, unforgivably open.
Well, that's,
like that.
That just means you haven't been staring at my crotch very much, because you've missed so many, Troy. It's interesting that, we kind of picked two games that are based on, I don't know, I'll say the more mundane parts of life.
What's mundane about Bully?
Well, I mean, it's a game about going to school, you know, which inherently shouldn't be fun, but it is. It's about the details. And
the classes are like the funnest part of the game.
Exactly. Oh yeah, absolutely. I love going to class and all the little mini games where if you do well, you get a good grade and all of that. It's a really interesting dynamic. I hope they come up with a new Bully game.
Yeah, I think it's the biology teacher. When the class is coming, I think it's biology like 3 or 4. When everyone's walking in the classroom, he goes, what are all these little people do? Oh, no, it's class time. That's right. No, it's class. There's class.
That's so great because you could totally see, like, I've had a couple teachers that had personalities like that, or is just like fucking so funny. I love that.
It's like, whoa, that's a lot of people to. It's 1 o'clock. Yep, math.
He's like coming down from like a mushroom trip that he had all morning, and he shows up to class and he's like, "Oh God, gnomes!" Oh wait, no. I have to teach these gnomes.
Man.
But yeah, interesting. I picked Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Oh, I see what you were getting at.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a game that shouldn't work on paper. Because it's like chores the video game. You know?
It's kind of like The Sims in that way.
Right.
I don't like telling some just an animated person to go take a shower, eat, take a shit, and then go to work.
It's too bad I can't tell myself to be successful at any of those things.
I paid more attention to my Sims hygiene than my own for a while. Right.
Oh my god! But
Animal Crossing. Sorry.
No, you're good. But it's interesting because this game has got me to a point where I'm like, what color should my china cabinet be? And I don't give a shit about real life china cabinets, but here I am, just kind of stressing about it, to be honest with you. It's like, that is not going to go with my decor.
That's funny. I remember I played the original, like, OG Animal Crossing for the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
I played that in college for a little bit because my roommate had it. And that was back when I still smoked weed. Mm-hmm. And I remember one time getting really high and I was like decorating the house. And it was that same thing where I almost like, I got actually pretty anxious because I was like, should the couch go here? I thought I was going to have an episode because I couldn't decide which side of the room I wanted the couch to go on because it looked kind of weird next to the grandfather clock. But then in this room, I have like that weird puzzle piece floor paper or carpet or whatever it was, and it looked silly in there. So I just remember being like, I spent like an hour in real time just frantically rearranging my house. So stupid.
But it's like somehow the game taps into that balance between the mundane and addiction, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Games like that are like the black tar heroin of video games where keep on wanting to come back and like live your character's life or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, like Sims, like Animal Crossing and Skyrim, it's just like, all right, that kind of like living day to day kind of micromanagey video game where it can really suck you in.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure like the music department when I was in college was wondering where I was for a couple of days when I was playing Animal Crossing.
It's got that perfect little IV drip every time you log in on a new day of just new stuff. It's just feeding you, just giving you a little hit. Like, oh, someone new moved in, or oh, the trees bloomed and you have new fruit, or the snotty piggy that's selling turnips is in town today. You know, that kind of garbage.
Who is that? Who is that? That penguin's name that
Rolled.
Oh no.
He's in the latest iteration.
Is he
too.
Really? Oh
yeah,
no.
I really want him in
I want to buy a Switch, buy New Horizons, and then kick his ass.
He's such a dick.
For context, Darren, so mine and Darren's first exposure to Animal Crossing was OG on the GameCube back in like 2003.
No, 2001, dude.
The GameCube didn't come out until 2002.
Hold on then.
Are you looking it up?
We need to get this right.
Okay.
It was released in Japan in 2001 on the Nintendo 64, but on the GameCube, it came out in 2003. I'll shut up.
How did you know the release date for the N64?
It's actually 2002 in the United States, so fuck you.
We got it in 2003. And so this a neighbor came in, and so Darren and I had two separate characters living in the same town, and we would just take turns living our life in this town. So this penguin named Rolled came in, and he was the biggest asshole. I'm trying to even remember what he did, or like I'd send him a letter. I would send him a letter being like, "Hey, welcome to the neighborhood, Rolled." Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
And I would send it to him, and then it would be Darren's turn, and he would go talk to him, and he'd be like, "I don't know about that Troy guy. He just sent me a letter. Check this out." And then it would be the letter that I sent him, and we're both sitting there. I'm like watching Darren play, so I'm like, he's talking shit.
Yeah, and then he'd go, "Check out what this greasy douchebag Troy just sent me." What an asshole, right?
Yeah, what a dick. I don't think I'll be going to his birthday party. I'm like, you weren't invited, motherfucker. Listen here. And that's
on top of all this, his fucking personality was that of a jock. So subtract all of the Troy hate. He was like when I'm done with this, I'm going to go do 50 reps on the bench press.
Oh my god, I remember that. Yeah, dude, Rolled really had a way of inducing real human anger. Like, real anger. Like, it manifested, like, I took that shit to school.
Dude, you had the fury of like 1,000 suns in you at Rolled. It's funny because that is the exact opposite feeling such a cheerful game like Animal Crossing is supposed to give you. Here I am like, I'm picking all the flowers in town, and you're like, fucking Rolled!
Yeah, because he was nice to you. He'd be like that friend who like would treat you like shit, and then I would be like, no, Rolled's an asshole. And you'd be like, what are you talking about, man? And Rolled's like, I just want to be friends with everybody. And then when Darren would walk away, he would lean into my ear and be like, you're a fucking piece of shit. I fucking hate you.
I'm going to kill you in your sleep one day. You better sleep with one eye open.
Your hair's fucking stupid. The pattern that you made at the Able Sisters is fucking dumb. I'd be like, you piece of shit! So what's your topic, Darren?
Oh, God. Okay, yeah, let's get into it. Well, holy shit. It's rage quitting.
Yeah, it is.
which Animal Crossing, of all games, almost made you do. But I want to talk about games that actually might make you rage quit. In fact, I kind of want to preface this segment with a trigger warning. because this topic is a little bit sensitive, and to be honest with you, I almost fucking rage quit out of doing the segment. It was making me so upset.
Am I gonna get like actually pissed?
I might. We'll see where this goes. But I've got it split into two segments. One is rage quit games. The other one is like rage quit inducing weapons. Yeah, man. The first two games I want to mention, I know aren't games that you played, so there's little common ground. So we can breeze right through them, but I will describe them to you, and maybe I'll describe them in such a way that you can feel the burn. First is Cuphead. Which is a fucking relentless bullet storm, just an onslaught. It's fast-paced. 3 hits and you're dead in this one. And so you've got enemies side-scrolling from the right. They're coming up from the ground. They're coming down from the sky. The ones you didn't hit will swing around and come from the left for another pass at your ass. And it makes me so upset. And it's interesting. I think the people who designed this game are geniuses. I use the word genius so much. I need to not. The developers of this game are geniuses because... Fuck! Okay, I can't stop. Okay, geniuses! Because, like, it's like a 1930s cartoon.
I've seen videos of it. It looks like you're in 1920s Disneyland.
Exactly. Everything has a smile and is dancing, and yet I want to throw a controller straight through the computer screen or the TV screen and out the window. I want to end it. It makes me want to end it. With how you described it, it kind of sounds like a game that I'm playing with a buddy of ours on PS4. It's called Enter the Gungeon. Oh, yeah.
And dude, I haven't played Cuphead only because, like, I would play it if it was for free. Mm-hmm. Not because I think it's a bad game, but because I know myself and I don't want to break things in my home. So I have just kind of stayed away from that game because I know I would just lose my damn mind. So I got Enter the Gungeon instead. Oh,
see, I love that game because it kind of has that Borderlands-esque, like, new gun with different effects kind of thing going for it.
Yeah, loot whoring.
Yes, it tickles that loot whore part of my gaming self. But yeah, dude, definitely a rage quit game for sure.
It reminds me of like Metal Slug, those old arcade games.
Oh, dude!
That's when I saw the trailer. I was like, "Oh, it looks like Metal Slug. I like this game. Let's get it." And then we started playing, and I am fucking garbage at it, and it just slaps my little ass.
How far do you get? How far do you get as far as like bosses go? I guess.
So there's 3 bosses, right? I've made it to the last one twice.
No way, dude. You're better than I am. I've made it to the second boss twice.
Here's the thing. I'm playing with our buddy Chris that we play with is probably one of the best video game players I've ever had the pleasure of playing with. He plays with me.
Oh, okay.
So it's not by my merit that we half of me making it to the last boss is me being dead and watching him do it.
You're just the dead weight he gets to drag along on the way to his victory.
Yeah. I'm like the friend who, it's like two friends who go out to the bar and one's the DD, and then I get shit-faced and he's trying to like get me back to the car.
Who invited this guy?
I'm like, jeez, man. Has he ever drank? Has he ever played a video game?
That's a question I keep asking myself, and I am almost in a 30-year-long gaming career now, so...
It's a curse.
It's a curse. Oh, well.
I am pretty mediocre at video games, and that's okay. So I tend to rage quit a little bit less. But all the same, dude, games like Cuphead and Enter the Gungeon are ones that are like, fuck!
It's probably for that reason that our gaming careers will extend further than others, simply because we are mediocre, and so we're just good enough to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, to see the great golden crown of victory every so often, but not enough to get it, but also not bad enough to just quit altogether. So it's just that carrot at the end of the string, just like ever cursing us to trudge onward. Dude, another game that you haven't played, but kind of in the same vein. I know you've heard of it. Super Meat Boy.
Oh, yeah.
This fucking platformer from hell.
I played about 20 seconds of it.
And then quit? Is that how long it took to get you?
I think so. Well, it was at a friend's house, so it was kind of like how far am I really going to get? But I remember he was just like, yeah, play this. And I played it briefly and was like, wow, that's really fucking hard. I will never play this.
I think it's one of those that I beat. This was back in my college days.
Oh, really?
I think I beat it. And then once you beat the story, it unlocks like a whole other world of levels. It just keeps going, but like the main story I beat, and it's another one of those games where you need split-second timing. It's a one-hit death with this one, so you don't even get 3 hits like in Cuphead. One and you're gone.
I think it was you that showed me that game.
I was that friend.
I think the friend's house that I was at was our house when we lived together. and you just showed me Super Meat Boy, if I'm remembering correctly.
And it's, oh man, the Super Meat Boy is unique in that it has a way that it twisted the knife in your gut even after you won. So you'll get to the end of the level, you're like, fuck yeah, beat it. And then the game's like, yeah, no, you're not that good. You still suck. See, I've recorded proof. And it shows every death that you had over the course of that one level.
Wait, for real?
Yeah. And it shows, like, say you died 100 times, which is not, an extreme number for that game. It will show all 100 attempts at once. So it's like a fucking waterfall of Meat Boys starting at the same time. And then by the end, it's just covered in meat, blood, and anger, and guts, and piss, and ass, and everything.
I would want to see a compilation. Like, so is it a pretty quick, like, death, or does it show you, like, the full play?
Oh, yeah, no, it's all 100 at once. And so they all start from the beginning of the level. They all start at the same time.
Oh,
some die earlier. Many more die like in the middle of the map. A few ones that got really close die at the end, and then you get to see that last one that actually did it outlast and outsurvive all the others. But it was every single death you played at the game, and it's over like a string of like 10 seconds.
I would like I would like to see, like, if it could give you the option to, like, record your face and your voice with all of those deaths and have all of those play at the same time. So it's just like 30 seconds of fuck,
dude.
Fuck, shut, fuck.
Remember the game's like, remember how stupid you looked here?
It's like there's plenty of games like that where I'll die and I won't even yell anything. I'll just like stare at one spot on the wall into the abyss because I know what I did.
You just watch yourself die inside.
Yeah. reflect on all of my life's failures leading up to this death in a video game.
I wonder how much like the anger management class industry made off of Super Meat Boy and other games like
it. Yeah, well, I mean, I hope a lot, because a lot of these kind of games, you see videos like a recent guilty pleasure. It's not even guilty. Fuck these people. But I love watching compilations of people getting pissed at Super Smash Brothers Melee tournaments.
Oh yeah,
where they'll die, and at first they're like keeping their cool. They'll stand up and like shake the dude's hands, and then they'll unplug their controller and just spike it into the floor, and it shatters into a million pieces, and they just slowly saunter off like nothing happened. I love that.
Oh yeah, you can't help but wonder if there's like an underground deal between like video game controller manufacturers and these games. You know?
Or the players, it's like high stakes. That dude just lost $10,000. I would do more than throw that controller.
Oh man, yeah, no, I would obliterate it for sure.
The announcers during those tournaments are also really funny because they're just like, "Ooh, he's mad. Ooh, he's mad. Yikes."
You see the vein popping out of his forehead.
Yeah.
You can't help but feel so bad. There's so many, like, God, you can see so many 10-year-olds with shattered dreams at these Fortnite competitions. Yeah. Like, to climb so high and to deal with the stress of having an audience of thousands as you play this game that you happen to be really good at, and not to mention you're 10 years old and not emotionally sophisticated enough to deal with all of this, and oh shit, you came in second and you failed your dad and mom at that moment.
Oh my God, yeah, they were riding on it because the other 10-year-old just won millions of dollars.
Yeah. Oh, and you didn't, and now you have to go back, and your parents still have to pay for your college.
You get a $20 gift card for like Fortnite skins.
Or Bed Bath & Beyond or something. Thanks.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much for playing my game.
Oh my God, I've never heard that said so plainly, but it really just hit me in the funny bone. Thank you so much for to playing my game.
For to play. He almost sounded like Eastern European, almost Russian. Thank you so much for to playing my game.
If Mario were Russian. Oh my God. Hey, welcome to my game. He's Watto from Star Wars. Hey, my name is Mario. 13,000 Imperial credits for a new life, huh? Let's go. Oh God, you just gave me COVID-19. Oh God.
Oh shit.
Is it even worth going on to the last game?
Go for it, man. Let's do it.
Man, we're so happy and laughing, and here I am. I'm going to bring it down to the rage quit level.
Go for it.
Dark Souls. Sorry. we just laughed our asses off, and now I have to restart this collegiate seminar. All right, and now back to my seminar on mitosis.
Yeah. How do you go talking about a Russian version of Mario and be like, woo, how did we get here? So the difference between mitosis and meiosis is...
But anyway, yeah, Dark Souls, I don't even want to talk about Dark Souls, to be honest with you. I'll just fucking find a way to edit this in. Yeah, maybe I could just find a way to edit this into some bullshit that's just like, fuck Dark Souls.
It's really hard. On. Folks get pissed. You know what it is.
I had something written down about its super fine hitboxes and, you know, the Estus Flask healing system, but I don't give a shit anymore. Because all I can think about is Russian Mario.
The game is very hard.
Okay, to be honest with you, earlier in my research for this segment, I wanted to do, like, simply iconic weapons and tools in video games. And in fact, I think you remember me bringing that up.
Yeah.
I wanted to do like iconic weapons, but the more I researched, I found myself getting kind of stressed out and angry on almost a subconscious level, because most of these weapons could be the poster items, so to speak, of their respective games. And yet they're some of the most rage-inducing pieces of cheap shit I've ever seen. So without further ado, rage quit-inducing weapons. I'll start off with Halo's energy sword, just because there's not much to say about it other than the fact that it's fucking bullshit. Why does it exist?
The lunge.
It's described as a short-range weapon, but man, you can fucking target someone and you zoom right towards them and it's a one-shot kill.
You can snipe somebody with a fucking sword.
A fucking sword. Exactly.
Yeah, dude, I remember there's 2 weapons in the Halo series that I would die and go, how, who, where? And then I would see, oh, it's an energy sword, which is like, oh, that's bullshit, and that would piss me off. Or it was just a really good sniper headshot, which I was never mad at. I would be like, damn, all right, well, props. Game recognized game.
Funny? Isn't that funny how, like, you can kind of understand the sniper because they had the distance and a good enough shot on you to take you out. But also you have that effect with someone who was, like, 5 feet away from you with this fucking sword. Yeah. And you still get the, like, where did that come from? So,
come on, man.
The energy sword just, I mean, back when I was playing Halo, it kept me up at night. It was just not, it was not okay. Another one that is sort of self-explanatory is the hammer in all of the iterations of Super Smash Brothers.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is why that and the heart container and the maximum tomato, those are all reasons why you just turn those motherfuckers off.
Turn that shit off. Because you could be a 3-year-old and have a hammer and fucking womp ass. So
that's why whenever I play Smash with somebody that I haven't played Smash with before, it's always a pretty early tell if when we're setting up the game, they go, what items do you want to leave on? I'm like, are you fucking serious? I mean, like, I want you to turn the switch off because I'm going home.
That's it. You're not ready for this.
This is over. Yeah.
Go home and practice. You're not ready to take me on.
Yeah. Well, no, it's okay. I'll just leave bombs on and proximity mines on and maximum hearts and this stupid-ass super scope. Whatever, dude. And it's to the point where I don't even know what items are in Smash Ultimate. I have no idea what's in there because they all piss me off. And I've played, I think, maybe a total of 3 rounds where items were left in. Both items and gimmicky stages where, like, something will come out of the sky, just grab you and take off with you, and that's one of your stock lives. Fucking waste of my time.
No way.
So I actually have no idea the extent of which items are in Smash Ultimate, because, like I said, in those 3 rounds where I did, it was like, what is this, and why is this? And I guess I kind of get it if you're trying to be, like, just play a friendly game, and you have somebody who's not really good, and so you can let them get all the items or whatever, so you don't just fucking whoop their ass.
Well, it's, you know, there's a level of fun that kind of comes with, like, the party game aspect of having the items on.
Yeah.
Where it's a lot looser. It's not a fucking blood match, you know, but if you want a clean fight that is purely skill-based, you go no items, and then you even go as far as saying, like, final destination. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, I guess in just all of my circles of people that I play this game with, we're all in agreement where we're like, all right, items are bullshit. We don't want to play with that because it makes it less fun because we're all out for blood.
This next one gives me chills.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and it's the Noob Tube grenade launcher from the Call of Duty series.
Oh my god.
I think they introduced it in Modern Warfare 2, if I'm not mistaken.
The first one, Modern Warfare.
Oh god.
Or at least Noob Tube as we know it, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just a one-hit kill lob, and you got the job done. Yeah, and you find players like starting the match by like lobbing them across the map and getting kills, not seconds into the game.
Because maybe,
right? Well, they know, and they know where the common starting points are for the opposite team.
Yeah,
and they've also practiced the exact pixel in the sky to shoot their fucking noob tube so that it hits that and they get the kill. And God, it makes me mad.
I wonder how much money I would have if I had $1 for every time I ripped my headset off because of a noob tube.
Oh, yeah, I'd be a millionaire for sure.
Fuck this game.
Yeah.
Fuck your noob tube. You ain't even good.
Dude, you've made me rage quit in Call of Duty. Do you remember Afghan? The map named Afghan?
Of course I do.
God, you and I would 1v1 because we didn't have internet.
Yeah.
Or internet access on our, what was that, Xbox 360?
Yeah.
And you would absolutely dominate me. I could stick a pinky toe out from behind cover and you'd pick it off.
That's because I remember I played a lot of Modern Warfare 2 specifically at our friend's house, and I would just get fucking obliterated on Afghan too. Like, their favorite map was Afghan, and I would just get noob tubed to hell. And I remember there was one specific case where I was like, I'm going home. Fuck you guys. I'm pissed. Because I remember I was playing with a friend of ours, and he was using noob tubes exclusively, and he was just getting it. Like, I had nowhere to run. And I remember, like, taunting him and being like, you're just hiding behind your noob tubes. Like, you couldn't face me if you didn't have those noob tubes. And he goes, you can do it too. So I went, all right, fine. I'm going to use noob tubes. And he kept killing me. Like, even when I was trying to use noob tubes on him, I lost. And so I got so just, like, white in the face pissed that I left.
Oh, God.
And
you rage left.
Yeah, I rage quit friendship. That was ones where, like, we showed up to school the next day, and I was like, hey, sorry.
I was having a moment back there, sorry.
That wasn't me. I don't know who that was.
Sorry about the controller I threw through the wall.
So yeah, then I would go home and take it out on you.
And you would succeed. There was that part of the map where it's the plane that crash landed, and you would park yourself up in the cliffs above that
That's
area.
Afghan, isn't it?
Yeah. And I would, like, I knew where you were, but you had that place locked down from all angles. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sneak this way, but I mean, it was split screen, so you knew my plan of attack. And then you look on my screen and you'd see, like, a fucking shoelace out from behind a rock, and you'd just hand my ass to me on a silver platter for breakfast.
I distinctly remember you getting fed up, because you'd be like, I spawn. I spawn, I run out, and then bullets just come out of the bushes and I'm dead. It's like a 2-second life. Why do we even play this game?
Especially 1v1. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
I was having a good time.
Yeah, you were.
God. Still am, apparently.
We would finish. We wouldn't even get to, like, the point cap, because I would rage quit before then, but it would end up being like 35 to maybe 2. Oh my God. All right, thanks for bearing with me. The last one that you all have to trudge through with me on is the blue shell.
The most relatable.
Yeah, or the spiny shell, I think is what its technical name is.
No, fuck that. It's the blue shell forever.
It's the blue shell, though, for sure. And it's proof that there is no God.
When did you become atheist? Double dash.
That's where I lost my religion, was Double Dash.
No.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
Mario Kart, The Folly of Man. I think that's what is that, the 8th or 9th iteration?
Fuck. Yeah, dude. The blue shell's demonic, and so I'm going to describe a little bit about how the blue shell works for the 3 of you who don't know how the blue shell works. It's one of those items that you get. Typically, you get it if you're in 8th through last place, near the end.
Yeah, just getting fucked.
Just losing hard. The blue shell will seek out and completely decimate whoever's in first place. And not only would it hit them, it's a huge blue explosion. You get sent up half a mile into the sky, and you lose like 10 seconds of time. So it's super frustrating. especially because first of all, you can hear it on the map. It's got this little siren, like a wee 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 or something like that, and
everybody else behind you that you're playing with announces that, oh, blue shell, it's coming.
yeah, and it's coming for you if you're in first. There's no way around it.
Hit the brakes.
Yeah, exactly. There are ways around it. Actually, there are some tactics that I learned during my research. I didn't even know that you could do this.
Please enlighten me.
So the star power protects you from it, obviously. If you have your star power going, that thing's not doing shit.
What are you doing at first with a star power anyway?
Yeah, you're not going to have a star power if you're in first. You're going to have
bananas.
1,000 bananas. Unless you saved it. But however, if you're invisible from the Boo Ghost item, the shell will go through you and take another lap, buying you some time.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know it could do that, yeah.
So you're just delaying the inevitable.
Right, but it gives you a little bit more time to plan, and maybe
get across
you
the
could
finish.
find... Yeah, exactly. And, a whole lap, depending on the course, is a long time, so that's one way to do it. Yeah. Also, if you have a blue shell and you are in first, it just turns around and hits you.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I don't know if there's ever an occasion where you would have a blue shell and be in first. I'm sure those times are rare. But yeah, it definitely just goes, who's in first? Oh, you're in first. Fuck you in particular.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Man.
I would have assumed if it was that kind of thing that it would then take a full lap. But it doesn't waste any time, does it? It just comes right back.
No, it turns around and fucks you from the front.
Oh, I'd be insulted. That's like shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, God. I kind of want to like, as a little footnote on my show and tell segment here, I know that there's a clip of me freaking out because a blue shell delivered me to victory. I think it was our buddy Tyler who got fucked up by a blue shell, and I was like in second by like a half a second, and we were right on top of the finish line, but he get blitzed and I sent through to victory. So we'll play that now. It's just me freaking out. That is the noise typically heard from a blue shell. You either shrieks of sheer joy or the groans of pure frustration.
If I remember correctly, you were freaking out because that shell was coming for you, or Tyler, and you were right next to him. And when it hit both of you, because it hit him dead on, but the blast of it hit you, and so you were spinning out, but you spun out into the finish line. And this is at the end of the Donkey Kong level on Double Dash, so it was like you're going over a bridge. So you almost fell off,
that's right.
But you didn't, and you just spun out into victory. And so that's why you were...
I turn into Donkey Kong for just a moment.
That's such a beautiful video. Oh my gosh.
God. I wish podcasting was a visual format sometimes.
I know.
Just to show. But anyway, without more from me, I want to hear what Troy has to say today.
Well, after all of that rage quitting, I'm going to take a shot.
Well deserved. Thanks for dealing with my rage-inducing topic today.
Oh, God, it's so bad.
What's in the bottle?
Kentucky Best straight bourbon whiskey, but it's bottom shelf.
Definitely not Kentucky's Best.
No, it's
Kentucky's Piss.
It's Kentucky's Best. It's bottom of the barrel. This is Kentucky's Shame, is what this is.
Could you clean windows with it, at least?
I wouldn't. So, moving on. My topic for today is companions. This is an interesting topic to me because companions can mean so many different things, and they're either done really well or they're done so piss poor bad. And there's so many different kinds of companions. There's the companions that are physically how do I put this? That are like physically with you and interact with you. And then there's the ones that are kind of like a part of you. I'll explain better as we go, but like in sorry, this is like the Bethesda cast, but Skyrim and Fallout companions are physically there with you, and they fight with you. And what I like about those kind of companions is that they don't necessarily really... Well, I think some companions in Skyrim actually die, I think.
So they kind of play by the same rules as you are subjected to in the game. They might as well be another you, except they follow you, right?
Right.
Am I thinking about this correctly?
Yeah, but I mean, like, when they quote-unquote die, they don't flat out just die. They go down, right? And then once the fight is over, they kind of come back up and are like, whoa, that was crazy. I think where companions in video games go wrong is when a game forces you to babysit.
Oh, God.
And I'll bring up some examples of that later, but I just want to get to the games that I think are the cornerstone of companions and have set the example of where companions and allies in video games should be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you talk about like Ellie from The Last of Us, where you don't have to worry about what she's doing. You know, she's there. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you play as her, which is great. Like, the only time you have to worry about her is when you are her and you have complete control. Otherwise, she can totally take care of herself. But Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite, I think, is the peak of companions in a game. Because when I first played BioShock Infinite and you first meet Elizabeth, they establish, okay, she's going to be with you for a while. Mm-hmm. You know, the whole base of the game is bring us the girl and wipe away the debt, right? So mm-hmm. When I first found Elizabeth and we started hanging out, I was thinking, oh, fuck. Please, for the love of Christ, do not let this entire goddamn game be an escort mission.
Oh, right.
But to my surprise, they had, at least I had, before this game, I had never experienced a companion like this, where you don't have to worry about them. You don't babysit them. They don't have a health bar. She opens tears.
A true companion.
Yes. They are their own entity, and she can hold her own. All the enemies are worried about the dude with the gun, you know? And, yeah, she opens tears. She, like, if you're low on ammo,
she scavenges for you.
Yeah, she'll throw ammo at you and money. And it's super cool because I will still quote, Booker, catch, at work if somebody needs something.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can you pass me that? Booker, here!
To sort of elaborate on the Elizabeth idea, one thing that I found refreshing about her mm-hmm. was that all too often in games prior to BioShock, the companion is some form of damsel in distress, mm-hmm. right? Where they're literally almost like an item in the game that you have to go retrieve and then, as you put it, babysit, and they're pretty helpless, and in fact, they are a detriment to the game. But here's Elizabeth, who's strong as fuck, she's powerful as fuck, she helps you out, and is like important to the story, like the background she has. Mm-hmm. Like you feel like almost if you had to babysit her, it wouldn't be as big of a deal
because you care about her.
You care about
mm-hmm.
her, exactly.
Yeah, and that goes just with great character building and relationship building within a video game. You know, that kind mm-hmm. of like upper echelon of storytelling. But it just, as I guess, at plain and simple, as a mechanic, you don't resent her for having to take care of her ever.
Yeah.
So there's nothing, the only time you get annoyed with her is something that she says or does in the story, not because she's hindering you through some mechanic. Like, oh boy, how can we talk about this without talking about Ashley from Resident Evil 4?
Oh no. Oh god.
Cuz she is the exact opposite of everything Elizabeth is in BioShock. Mm-hmm. Ashley in Resident Evil 4 is what you just described. She's a hindrance. You have to go and get her, and she doesn't like move really by herself. I mean, she'll follow you without any enemies around, but the second there's enemies, she like freezes up. She'll straight up just stand there while some cultist dude comes up and grabs her, and then she just screams really annoyingly, Leon, help me! And here's the thing, you can shoot her while she's being carried away. If you don't place your shots just right, she fucking dies and the game's over.
I have an obscure sort of connection that I'm making right now.
Do it.
Ashley reminds me of the ball in Glover. where you have to drag it around and like, no, she's the ball and Glover. Yeah, if she's in the gem state.
Yes.
If anything fucking happens to it, it's game over.
Man, you just kicked me in the nostalgia balls. Wow. And that is literally what she is. Like you said, an object to get. And man, Glover, that should be the standard. Like, if you're going to put allies and companions in a video game, don't make them the
ball and Glover. Yep.
Because I don't give a shit about the ball and Glover.
Except the ball and... Okay, without taking too long of a tangent here, the ball and Glover added interesting mechanics and you could use it in different ways to get you further in the level. Ashley's worse than the ball and Glover in that she's the bowling ball. She just sits,
she doesn't do shit. And she's
just a target.
Yeah. But she's like if the bowling ball and Glover had the same like fragileness of the gem. Because in BioShock Infinite, Elizabeth, you can shoot at her. Like, you can shoot in her direction all you want. You're never going to hit her. And even if, like, by somehow you did, the game doesn't recognize... Like, she's invincible to you.
Yeah.
In Resident Evil 4, you're being surrounded by cloaked dudes with morning stars. One of them has Ashley. And you're like, fuck! And you're just, like, shooting a shotgun. One of them clips her toe, and she dies, and you have to start over.
What the fuck, Resident Evil?
I'm like, is there, like, a cheat code I can enter that just lets... Can I just let the cultists take her? I don't want her. Get her out of here, please. Have mercy.
That's the only way you win the game is by letting them take her, and then you take the cartridge out of the console.
You won.
You don't have to deal with this bullshit anymore. Be free. Go outside. Read a book.
Because the game is badass until you meet her again. And then there's certain points in the game where you get like separated from her. And I'm like, oh my God. Even though Leon in the game is like, I have to find her. I'm like, do you? Is that what?
Please no.
Please.
She's fine. I promise.
She'll be all right. Like, I was really hoping for a moment where like the bad guy just like puts a bullet in her head and that's the big, oh shit, but there's still more you have to do. But I was like, please just get her out of my life because I don't want to have to deal with that shit anymore.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so that's how not to do it. But that's like example of where like companions in these games are the game. You know, like Elizabeth, BioShock, Ellie in The Last of Us, Ashley in Resident Evil 4, you know, that's like pretty much the game that you're playing. And there's other ones that are similar, and I'm not sure you can count them as like companions because it's all like as they are, it's a duo, but you're controlling them as if they're one character. If that makes sense, like Flood from Super Mario Sunshine, or like Kazooie from Banjo Kazooie, BJ Kablooey.
Oh, that's the porn offshoot.
Yeah. Kazooie from Banjo Kazooie and Flood from Super Mario Sunshine, where like they're their own like entity, right?
Yeah.
But you control them as one, and I think that's really cool. How games like that do that.
Yeah, you don't have to babysit someone. You know, they're part of you, and so inherently they are you in a way. Yeah,
it's like you're very much in it together.
I like that too.
One of their fuck ups is in turn your fuck up. Whereas like if Ashley fucks up, that's Ashley fucking up.
You're like, what the fuck are you doing over there?
Yeah, why did you
fucking
do that?
Idiot? Yeah.
If Kazooie, it doesn't matter if it's Kazooie or Banjo, it's all me controlling
exactly.
it. So I mean the blame all falls onto me.
Yeah.
I don't really mind that too much.
If I remember correctly, Midna from Twilight Princess was similar to that, right?
Yeah, she was I am in love with her. Because she is a snarky little shit. What I liked about Midna was that she didn't get in your way. She only served certain mechanics, like turning into a wolf or teleporting was done through her, but it's all like controlled by you. It's not Midna is like an NPC or anything.
Oh, yeah.
And she, like Elizabeth, just added a bunch of character and emotion in the game. And it was fun to get to know her. And she was so snarky and... And it's funny because like a lot of people put Midna and Navi from Ocarina of Time in juxtaposition for that same reason. Because Midna isn't intrusive.
No,
she's there when you want her to be.
Did Midna have a hey at all?
if my memory serves right, no. She had, I think it was like a little jingle.
Oh yeah.
And a little icon prompt with Z
yes.
that you could press. It was like ba-da-da-da, or something like that.
Yeah, kind of like the speaking stone in Wind Waker. Hey.
Something like that. If my memory serves correctly, it definitely wasn't a hey, and then it rips the controller out of your hand and it goes, listen.
Listen here, you little shit.
Yeah, it's like from Persona 5, Morgana, when you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna leave the house now, and she goes, go the fuck to sleep. Morgana is a he. Let me say that again. It's like in Persona 5 when with Morgana, when you like want to leave the house or something, and he just grabs you by the face or by gunpoint and goes, nope, you're going to bed. Go to bed.
All right, Mom. Fuck. Yeah. All right, Dad. I was today years old when I figured out the gender of Morgana.
Dude, so you find out his gender decently early in the game, but the first time I found out that they were using he pronouns, I was like,
oh,
what? What? That's I mean, come on.
The super left liberal in me was really disappointed when I found out all game I was assuming his gender. Hardcore.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, shit. Well, speaking of assuming gender, Slippy from Star Fox is a piece of shit.
I didn't know you were gonna cross that bridge, but that's perfect. Because Slippy's another one where I totally thought Slippery was a girl.
Yeah, I know.
Nope.
I know. Voiced by one, totally is not.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And Slippy is a perfect example of, okay. So Slippy has a health bar as one of your companions. Strike number one. Mm-hmm. Shit. Don't give me a companion with a health bar because that just makes me babysit.
Mm-hmm.
2, Slippy's voice acting and like what he says and just everything that is Slippy makes me want to not only one, not help him, but 2, fight with the enemy to get him off my screen. Help me, I've got enemies on my tail.
I forgot you could do that. You could just shoot him down. Fuck. You could just shoot him down and send him back to the Great Fox and be done with it. Get out of my game. I hate you.
Yeah. Because it's relentless too, and I feel like it's once every single level. You never see Slippy helping. You only see Slippy needing to be helped,
mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. That's why everybody hates him. Falco talks shit to you the entire game, in every game.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, haha, fuck you, Fox. I'm glad your dad's dead. Fuck you. Slippy, and I'm like, that's cool. But Slippy will be like, help me, Fox. And I'm like, I hope you die.
It's getting crazy as shit out here. I need to go back to the Great Fox.
Yeah. Wow, there was a lot of extra fire on me. Yeah, that's because I just focused double lasers on you. Oh my god, dude. Companions. I feel like they're easy to not fuck up. Just make them not super annoying. It doesn't even have to be that complicated, like the dog in Fable 2 that you get. It's best friend.
Oh, yeah.
But also, I mean, the mechanics with the dog in Fable 2 were kind of broken. Like, there would be times where it was like, it would bark about a dig spot, and then we would just run around in circles. I'd be like,
Where
is it? And we would go to a spot, finally, that I've walked over like 10 times before it actually starts digging, to prompt you to dig. So I think that one maybe is the animal lover in me.
Yeah, and
because it really tugs on
if the game hinged on that sloppy of an AI, like if your progression hinged on that, it would be infinitely more frustrating than where's the dig spot.
Oh my god. Well, there were some like quest items that you needed your dog to dig up.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it would take, like, I remember having to reload a save and like or turn my Xbox off and turn it back on in order to try again, because clearly it's not working this time. And I gotta take 2 marker and but yeah, dude, I loved the dog in Fable 2 as shitty as they were, much like I liked dog meat in Fallout.
Oh yeah.
They did dog meat in Fallout was a lot better than the dog in Fable 2, because not only do you not have to babysit, but I'm so protective because it's your dog.
Yeah.
So dog meat will like run up to an enemy and start like biting at their leg or whatever, and you'll see like a raider or something like shake dog meat off and then kick it, and dog meat goes yipe.
And you're like,
and I go into dog dad mode, like kick my dog, motherfucker, and like take some jet or no psycho and punch the head off the body.
I think all companions that follow you around should either be a cute little dog or the adoring fan. If they're not going to be worshiping the ground you step on, then they should just be a dog that's going to go fight for you. That's all I need.
Well, those are the 2 best companion interactions I've ever had. Elizabeth, dog meat, and the adoring fan after I killed him and put him in one of my weapon cases and skin grab.
Or like shoved him off a cliff.
There's a video on YouTube of somebody taking him up to the highest cliff in Tamriel and or Cyrodiil, and they knock an arrow. And he was like, what can I do for you? Shine your shoes? Carry your weapons? Kiss the ground you walk on? And he just, like, closes the conversation and nails him in the face. And he falls in slow motion to pictures at an exhibition.
Wait a minute. Like, da, 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 da,
yep.
da.
The promenade theme,
God. Dude. Work of art.
It's the closing. It's like the finale promenade. So it's all bombastic and, work of art.
I need to see that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But the last kind of genre of companion that I wanted to touch on is companions whose opinion of you can control through your own actions and choices throughout the game. Because like Elizabeth, her opinion of you is the same no matter how you play the game. There's BioShock Infinite has finite amount of options that you can choose, and Elizabeth, her opinion of you does not matter which way or the other. But in The Walking Dead, the Telltale Walking Dead games,
Clementine.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Dude, the times where I would be like, I have to do this. This is what I need to do, and then I do it, and like the little prompt in the up right corner would be like, Clementine will remember that, or Clementine hated that, or something like that.
Fuck.
It made me want to just like turn the game off and be like, okay, when was my last save? 2 hours ago? Worth it.
Yeah. I found myself like siding with Clementine to the point of insanity. Like, we need to find food for the people because we're out of food and we're sheltered here. And then I'd be like, but Clementine lost her doll.
But Clementine says that she needs to eat all the food. What? That doesn't make any sense.
What's that, motherfucker?
Yeah, what'd you say? Hand it over. Yeah, dude. Because there's so few. There was a few characters in that game where, like, if their opinion of me went down, I would be like, oh shit, man, I liked you. But none of them held really a candle to Clementine. If there was any negative emotion or something that I said upset her, or I used a shitty tone and it upset her, it affected me. I regretted it. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to make up for that. It felt like she was my kid.
Dude, that's what that game did so well. It's just made this cartoony ass kid who you just met, made you feel like you needed to take her under your wing. It was so effective at that. I will never forget that game for that reason.
And you know what's fucked up is that in that game, it's such a great example of companions in video games, but you are literally babysitting. This thing that this concept of what I've been saying has been like a shitty way of going about companions is what makes Clementine so endearing. You've been under my care this entire game, and my decisions affect you heavily, and I want things to go well for you, so, like, let me take care of you, baby.
But here's the thing, like, perhaps things would have gone differently for Ashley from Resident Evil if every time you shotgunned her in the ass on accident, it said in the corner, Ashley will remember this.
She'll remember it because she doesn't have any legs.
Every time you abandon her to the zombie horde, it'll reflect poorly on your relationship with her.
Yeah, like, Ashley didn't like that.
Maybe that's the difference.
Oh, man. I was thinking about it, and I'm playing the image of that prompt coming up in my head as the cultists take her away. and my only thought was looking at her and, like, giving her, like, a little head nod and be like, fucking good. I don't give a shit. I hope you remember this for the rest of your life. Like I give a shit.
Oh, dear me.
All right, I think that'll about do it for this episode. I hope the next time you're playing Smash with your friends and it doesn't go your way, and you smash your controller into the ground and say, fuck this, I'm out, you think of us and go, oh, but you guys should listen to this new podcast I was listening to. Fuck you guys.
And if you have any companions that you don't want to abandon, you want to not abandon them to the cultist hordes, maybe, I don't know, hand them a flash drive with a copy of our podcast on it. I'm sure they'll remember that.
Let them know. Just be like, Booker, catch! And then they'll catch it. Catch the flash drive.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate your dedication. Episode 3, and many more to come. What the fuck? That wasn't even English. Jesus Christ, what the fuck did I just say? Okay, thanks for coming to podcast, huh?
Hey, Anakin! Oh, nice podcast episode the other day.
Oh, I'm glad you... Wait, why is Anakin Watto 2? Now this is podcasting.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast.